Today's show is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook today and 30-day trial of their service at audibletrial.com/lazy. Works on iOS, Android, Windows Phone, Kindle, and many more devices. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the LTG Show. My name is Sean Wilburn, and today I am joined with Radford Castro.
Hey.
I had on the line Tony Hannity's.
Good evening.
And I also have Victor Bognat.
Hey, what's up?
So, before we get started in today's show, I'll give you some quick contact information. First, you can reach us at email at comments@lazytechguys.com, or you can shoot us a telephone call at area code 707-722-5299. All right, so this is the LTG Show, is our news and, I guess, current topics podcast of our network. And today we're going to get started off by talking about the most important thing of the week. See any good football games, guys? Anything recently?
Woo!
Yeah, we're not going to. For all the Wisconsin fans out there, we won't go too much into detail. But looking at your face, Rad, I know that you almost want to.
63. Ding.
Thank you. But anyway, let's really get down and dirty, guys. Let's talk some tech, and now let's talk about
Niners.
Well, let's actually start and let's talk about Apple, who we said last week that they reportedly were being hacked, and it looks like they may not. So, Rad, what was the update that happened in that realm?
Okay, so the FBI denied that the laptop was hacked, and they said they've confirmed that nobody has touched the so-called laptop, and that no one has actually retrieved Apple UIDs. And that's pretty much the story we have so far. They haven't confirmed anything else except for the fact that it hasn't been touched, that no one has actually pulled the IDs, and whatever was uploaded into the internet are actually invalid UIDs. So, yeah. Whatever was been pulled is probably not going to be. And the interesting thing is that the hackers have also mentioned that we actually have more of these running around, so we're definitely going to upload some more. But part of it they think is like a PR stunt or whatever. But
Well, just so you know, I think didn't a group of hackers say that the PSN got hacked again like last week, and that was a hoax. This came out, and this is a hoax. So maybe somebody's just using this as fear mongering, or maybe someone's just trying to make a fool of themselves.
Anti-sec is not as good as hacking.
Ooh, are you calling somebody out, Rad?
And all of a sudden, this ends.
Rad, are you calling somebody out?
I'm ready for that.
All right. So next, it looks like Amazon has finally released the specs on the new Kindle Fires. Tony, briefly, what did they release there, and what's kind of significant about these machines?
Well, they upgraded the original Kindle Fire for faster processor and double the RAM and lowered the price. But the thing that we were all waiting for were the new Kindle Fire HDs, two sizes, one in 7-inch and another one in 8.9 inches. To kind of put it very simply, they've got a lot more capability than its predecessor. High definition screen, hence the HD. It's got MIMO, which basically is dual band, dual antenna Wi-Fi. It's a world's first. Even the third gen iPad doesn't have it, and that's supposed to have like the best of the best. In any case, it has a stereo Bluetooth, HDMI out. It's got a ton of new features that are not available on the original Kindle Fire, including some features like whisper sync to voice, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm very, very intrigued about all the specs. I can't wait to actually give it a shot, because I know with the first Kindle Fire, spec-wise, it seemed really awesome. But then when we had it in our hands, the Silk browser wasn't silky at all. The quality of the screen was very, very pixely. From what I've heard, people are pretty happy with it. But one thing that wasn't mentioned was the fact that there are ads, and that's why these Kindles, the Kindle Fire HDs, can be sold for very, very cheap. And if my computer was faster, I'd be able to scroll down and find out how much they cost. But the fact of the matter is, they're subsidized. You're you're going to be getting ads from their partner networks, for example, AT&T. Um, Luckily, over the weekend, there was this big uproar about this. And luckily, Amazon finally doubled back and said, you know what, fine. You don't want ads? Give us $15 more. Say goodbye to the ads. And that's it. So whatever they cost normal, add 15 more bucks. You send that to Amazon separately, I guess through your Amazon account, and then you don't have to worry about looking at ads on your lock screen. Personally, I don't know. I'd have to actually see the ads, but from what I heard, they're just in the corner and they're not like ads at the beginning of a YouTube video or during the video, like at that just pop up or anything like that. It's not as evasive like that. But um, for you Android fans out there, it is running Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0, but you probably wouldn't even notice that. It's really just oh wow, my browser is a lot faster now. And then last but not least, the Kindle Fire HD 4G is now available as well in 8.9 inches. It uses AT&T's LTE network. There is no contract. It is essentially a per year basis because you pay $50 and you get a year's worth. The thing is, though, you only get 250 megabytes per month. So if you go over that, I'm not exactly sure what happens. I think they just cut you off. But as an added bonus, you do get unlimited use of the AT&T Wi-Fi hotspots, 20 gigabytes of Amazon cloud storage, and best of all, $10 of Amazon App Store credit. So that's pretty much it. I actually did a impression video that's on our YouTube channel, Lazy Tech TV, on Thursday, I guess it was. So if you want to see that and see me gab about this for a little bit longer than I am right now, go ahead and check that out.
So 8.9 inches. That's like the Motorola Zyboard, right?
8.2 is the Motorola Zyboard.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. So 8.2, everybody got all their inches all figured out? Because we are guys, and it's hard for us to get the inches right. We don't ever measure them correctly in any way whatsoever.
Measure it from way over there.
Well, in that case, I'm used to a 10-inch tablet.
Measure it from here.
Nice. This isn't like a 50-inch screen in my hand. Oh, my bad. Anyway. All right. All right, now Facebook has completed their acquisition of Instagram. Now, is this the moment that we all have to finally start uninstalling it because it's not going to be good anymore? What is this it? Rad, is this the moment we're waiting for? Or what?
Yes.
All right, done. All right, next.
We are done. It's official. After the probing.
We don't know if there's going to be any change. All you Instagram users, I know, Tony, you use Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you worried about this in any way whatsoever, or?
Not really. I use
cool.
Instagram and Facebook, and I don't see a difference yet.
All right. How long until Instagram gets shut down, guys? 1 year? 2 years? What? 6 months?
Instagram's not cool anymore.
No, until Facebook shuts them down, saying
Instaface.
We're gonna wrap up their company in our product and just.
It's like Instaface. It's like Sean's face is the logo.
Oh yeah. My face, man. I like my face. My face is good, dude. I like my face. Anyway. All right. Yeah. All right, guys. Samsung's been kicking some butt here lately, huh? Galaxy S3. Hang on, where's my Galaxy S3? Galaxy S3. Guys, pretty awesome. And apparently it's been sold 20 million times. Tony, is that a lot of phones?
Yeah. I mean, I would say in the amount, it's only been around since May. So in Android world, yes. iOS world, maybe not.
Yeah,
We're just being realistic. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge milestone because it's only been out for about 100 days, I guess. And at the Motorola event, Eric Schmidt got up on stage and said, 1.3 million Android devices are being activated each day. So maybe it's not too far-fetched, considering this particular phone would be included in that, and probably more. So yeah, to kind of celebrate that, they did a number of things for consumers, which I don't know if it was a good idea because they launched some new colors, and you know how consumers are like, oh come on, you got the black phone, oh screw you guys. I don't know that I don't know if that's really going to affect anybody, but Samsung is really proud of this. They're also proud of the fact that in the last month they sold more phones than the iPhone in all the major carriers here in the United States. Now, obviously, that's because something's happening in 2 days.
No way.
And I say obviously because
no,
yeah,
I don't believe it.
I mean, so come
Hey, man, we're supposed to
October, those
be
what?
we're supposed to be tech pundits, right? Right, Rad? Like we're supposed to
right.
say that the iPhone's on its way down, right?
It's down right now.
That means
No.
something else. That means something else is going to be on its way up.
Razer. Oh wait, no.
I'm on my way up.
Is it
The Nokia.
But it's good for Samsung. They've been doing good with it.
Yeah.
They sold a lot. So wait, it's Wednesday. It's tomorrow. It's well, as you guys are listening to this here, Wednesday is when the big event is. Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Perfect. Cool. All right. We'll keep your eyes, ears, and everything peeled on our site. We'll do our best to report on all that and all the other things happening in TechCrunch, which we'll get to in just a moment. But one last little thing here is little fleb, no, not a little fleb, making words up. The Hulu app on the PS3, by the way, everyone is getting upgraded. Haven't had a chance to check it out yet, and we'll probably let you guys know later on this week what it's all about on the Lords of Gaming show that we'll have later on this week. So definitely keep your eyes tuned, eyes and ears on our site to know what's going on. All right. So next, guys, we're going to talk about TechCrunch. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to just go ahead and mention our sponsor of our show, which is Audible.com. Now, for the listeners of the LTG show, Audible and us, we're offering you guys a free audiobook download with 30 days to check out their service. Now, they have over 100,000 books to choose from, including all different types of genres, and it works on all different devices, including Kindles, iPhones, iPads, Android phones, Windows, and more. So, to get a free 30 days to check out the service and a free book in the deal, go to audibletrial.com/lazy. Once again, audibletrial.com/lazy, and you go ahead and get your free book. And most important of all, we'd like to thank them for being a sponsor. All right. Now, two lucky LTG members here had a chance to go to TechCrunch. So I'm going to let you guys take over from here and let us know about your experiences, what you've seen, and things you want to bring up. So it's all yours.
Cool.
Go ahead, Rhett.
Yeah, when we jumped into TechCrunch, we got a chance to check out the speakers. Some of the more notable ones were Jack Dorsey, which I actually did a live blog on. Well, not particularly him, but some of the other entrepreneurs that were there. In this case, Ben Horowitz, who was actually on stage along with some other couple of guys that were very disruptive in the entrepreneur. I mean, the big companies like Twitter and Square and stuff like that. So, but it was a very how would you say, Tony? A very
Inspiring.
Inspiring, yeah. So a lot of the talk was kind of some pep talk, but it was very insightful, and they actually did some quoting from as far back as our founding fathers, who's been,
Who are they? I don't know those people.
the guys on the boats with the oars.
Those guys.
Those dudes.
Those guys standing out front.
The guy that had the hat on.
The guy, the Grim Reaper.
The hand in his vest for no reason.
Yeah, they actually had quite a number of speakers that were up there that were quite notable. Of course, finishing it off, we actually got a chance to see The Honest Company, who, of course, was led by Jessica Alba and Brian Lee.
Wait, The Honest Company?
Yeah, it's called The Honest Company.
I'm going to that website right now.
You don't see Alba in a swimsuit or anything like that?
No. I'm just like, what are they? The Honest Company. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, it's I mean they're all after branding and stuff. It's nothing new, but they're all about eco products and stuff like that, like high end eco products at value prices and stuff like that. Um, but for the most part, from what we saw on the floor, it's pretty interesting. There was a lot of shuffling going around, um, and some of the companies that we saw last year are not there. They haven't made a return. Some are still around. Of course, the big vendors were around. We had Vonage, Ford. We saw Microsoft. We got a chance to even play with the Nokia phones, the 820 and 920. So that was kind of cool. We saw Windows 8 more in its completed, realm, but for the most part, it was a pretty good experience, And there were some ideas, some in particular that really stuck out that we felt like were very disruptive in the tech market. So, but yeah. Tony, I think you probably had some pretty good handful of guys. I mean, I looked through some of the articles that looks like you had working on, and those were pretty interesting companies. So
Yeah, we have a few more, and one of them I want to talk about is Mogul, MOGL. And the idea of Mogul is
Was it
um,
Mogul? What?
yeah,
MO,
MOGL.
MOGL. And the idea of it, it's a reward program for the restaurants, but it's frictionless. It's seamless. If you guys think of other reward programs, you have to have a physical card or you have
Right.
to have an app and you have to check in so it knows that you're there wherever you are. With Mogul, you connect the app. It is an app, but you connect the app to your credit card. So whether you have your phone on you or not, it doesn't matter. As long as you go to the participating restaurants and you pay with the
With your
registered
check card.
credit card,
Yeah.
right? Then it knows that you've been to Rad's place or whatever. What's Ruth's Steakhouse? I don't even know if they're on the list. But what happens is that you, as a consumer, whatever you paid, you get 10% back, no matter what. You get 10% back,
That's
and
better than a Discover
just by
card.
eating there.
Yeah, no kidding. You
Sec-
get $10 for just even signing up.
Damn,
second
all right.
Yeah.
to that, if second to that, the more that you eat at a restaurant, and the more that other people eat at the same restaurant, you're entered into a drawing to win first, second, and third, and the prize is again money, and it's not money that you have to spend at this restaurant. It's money you win it from Al's restaurant and then go to Best Buy and buy a new DVD. And then best of all, well, not best of all, but lastly, they have
You want to
kind of
say
a
best of all. Just say
well,
it.
it's really cool. It's a sideline charity. They work with Feeding America, and it's a charity wherein that for every meal that you buy, or I forget the exact amount, but every meal that you buy, they give a meal to a needy person, a homeless person. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign up separately with a tax write-off thing. You just eat. You just go do what you do best, and that's eat. And you earn money, and you can make money. And what's really great is that from the restaurant side of it, again, it's frictionless because you don't have to train your staff to know anything about Mogul because there's no additional point of sale system.
So there's no additional point of sale at all, but it does kind of make, I don't know. It's just so everyone knows, we just lost Tony just a second ago. But we're not going to let that hold us down because Mogul did seem really, really cool. So yeah, we're actually on their site right now, and as I'm installing for as much time. So real quick, so we don't go into too much. Rad, so did you see any other really cool things like Mogul or any services?
We did. It's funny because prior to Mogul, we went through and saw a variety of other rewards programs, but they always involved some either card or a check-in or an app that required an extra step for a consumer to use to be able to make use of it. But then when I signed up to this and I saw what the business use cases that they were going through to make this work, it was they just require your debit card, and so when you're running it through, the fact that they know where you're running it through is pretty much the way they reward you. So I mean, I just thought it was ingenious out of the way. I even talked to the guy, the founder who was running Mogul, and aside from the fact that he used like E40 fonts, I was asking, hey man, what else are you guys planning to do? He said that it started in San Diego, and they brought in hundreds of restaurants, and they went to San Francisco and started adding those restaurants automatically to that list. And he said there's more drop-off in other programs than there are at this one. So actually, there's almost no drop-off from what I understand. So
well, when you don't have to have the business do any work and
that's
they
the thing.
benefit from it, how can you lose?
Yeah, and you don't even have to train the staff. That was the big draw that he kept talking about. Is the fact that it's very there's not a lot of friction going on, and it doesn't really require much aside from the fact that you just normally go out and eating in your favorite restaurant, which may land on Mogul's list one of these days. But they already have almost 300 restaurants already listed on there. Some of mine are listed on. So I figured it's definitely worth doing. So.
All right, so hey, I'm gonna change the subject real quick, but not change it at all.
But we're not.
Yeah, but the event is called Disrupt, right?
Right.
So I'm just curious on why they call it Disrupt. Is it like a disruption in old technologies? Is that how they intended it to be?
It's sort of like, okay, iPhone is disruption because basically it now forced everyone to make the phones similar, right? Everyone from a keyboard to a touchscreen. That's disruption. So that's what they mean by that. So it's like anything that really ends up making the rest of the industry adjust, to kind of either go with the times or adjust accordingly. You know what I mean? You know how they say, the adapt or fail. So that's basically what Disrupt is all about. They keep changing things around so that other industries would either follow or someone would have to come out something more innovative or something even better for it to work. And I think that company that we were talking about was very, very disruptive for sure.
All right. So what other disruptive things did you get a chance to see there? Or maybe disruptive people that you heard yelling in the background, heckling people?
Well, we got a chance to also check out some, a few games, but most of them, there's this one called O2 Jam. It's obviously you heard of Harmonix, the same guys who do stuff like Rock Band. So there was like an Asian version of Harmonix that was out there. And even though we've seen games like, we've seen those DDR games and side text. That's stuff that Tony was demonstrating on his mobile phone where you're playing with the songs and stuff. So they would do that, except they're using all K-pop or J-pop and
I was going to ask you how it became Asian in this way. I was just like, I don't understand how they changed the buttons. What are they doing there?
So does that mean they were playing like Gangnam Style?
That's exactly that's actually the song I played with. I was like, I knew exactly the song because you're really good at this because I know the song. So I was like tapping away, and it was a very familiar experience because I already knew Rock Band. I knew the song. They were just trying to get our audience to engage with our music. I was like, sweet. So it was cool. And then I got a chance to play with some other toys. Like they actually had a Kinect, a 3D management tool using Kinect, and you were actually modifying these 3D models. Tony took footage of me toying around with it. So of course they had you messing around with an avatar in 3D and a couple of things like where you can manage and turn the object in 3D or stretch it and shrink it and stuff like that. So
are we talking like things that we've seen in movies over all these years, that kind of stuff? That kind of you're the 3D object or
maybe not as nice as Minority Report, but it's like one of those things where the concept is actually working. It was pretty. It was of course not perfect because of the fact there were people from TechCrunch walking behind me, so it was trying to track everybody. But it was interesting. What they showed us is kind of like what they learned from the Kinect SDK, and so that's something that you'll definitely see in the posts tomorrow, or at least by the time you guys hear this.
Obviously, you guys forgot the orange cones to get the people from walking behind you, right?
We had to put the orange curtain.
Yeah, just put or have the red and black. No, sorry.
Or my Niner blanket. Just
I'm telling you, dude, I'm right there.
Yeah, but it was a very good was a good experience for us because it seemed like a lot of the stuff that we saw was a lot more diversified. Last year, there must have been at least 20 companies doing picture sharing, and this year now we see a lot of SDKs, API-based companies that are trying to go more platform-centric. And so like there was one on games that I think you and I are mostly interested in. It's called the Game Genome Project, and what they wanted to do is obviously when you search for games, we have categories. People search by RPGs, first-person shooters, and I don't know, platformers, things like that, right? So this founder, I can't even remember his name, unfortunately, at the moment, but he was showing us how he would actually get the data to cut through differently. So if you wanted a game that's based on zombies that had some stealth, or was based zombies and it's first-person shooter, you can actually find games that way. So and it personalizes to your liking. So if you want to look for something that's Metal Gear stealth, type of game, then it pulls out the games that are that way. So it's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of gamers that I know that look for stuff like that, and it's probably something we'll definitely tap on more on the Lords of Gaming podcast. But
well, actually, let's check on that real quick since I do have a moment, and I'm going to quickly screen share this as quickly as I can. Voila!
The Genome Project.
All right. So yeah, like try it out Blender. So it looks like they have different ways. Just like Brad is saying, you could click different things. Like I click strategy at the bottom. It adds strategy games down here at the bottom of the screen. Let's say if we want something that uses a game controller, things that could use a game controller. Here's military because this is one for Andrew. Here's Andrew. There you go. You like things in turns, Andrew.
I was actually looking for something like this because Google recently had a 99-cent sale on the Google Play Store, so I picked up games like Virtua Tennis and stuff like that, and I wanted to.
I did my job. I did my job.
But like one thing that I've been finding is because I have not only that, I have like things like NBA Jam, right? And apparently,
that was good.
I think NBA Jam.
Was it without the cussing?
Probably without, but I think NBA Jam does not have controller support, and it's not. Yeah, I think it's not unless you dig down into reviews or look at that. There's not really a clear-cut way to find out if a game has controller support or not. So, and that's the other thing too. Like I know we saw some Bluetooth controllers for Android at CES this year. Did you know that a lot of them are still not out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I know GameStop has one for $40, and not even a lot of GameStops have it, and a lot of the GameStop personnel don't even know that something like that exists. So I've been looking around for one, but it'd be nice to have a lot more choice around other than the GameStop one.
Awesome. All right. So, Brad, what else do you see down there? So, just saying, Tony still hasn't had a chance to join us back. Looks like his internet connection is fighting us very, very diligently here. So, Brad, what else did you ever catch there at TechCrunch?
Well, we got a chance to check out Tick and Go. I don't know if I pronounced it correct. It's probably Tick and Go or Tick and Go or whatever. And so it's basically a ride-sharing program similar to the likes of Uber, Lyft, and RiderBee. And if you don't know what the hell those are just basically apps. Those are basically apps that allow you to, connect with someone that does ride-sharing, like actual drive you to somewhere. And so if you're in like the Bay Area or any place where Tick and Go actually supports or have, a bunch of registered users on, you could go on there, choose a place that goes from point A to point B, and if someone lands on those areas, then you can actually say, can you drive me here? Or can you take me here? And they have go as far as identifying the drivers and making sure they're not psychos. Yeah.
So in some sort of way, it's kind of like Park and Ride, but more mobile, right?
Yeah, more mobile, and making sure they're not some kind of axe murder or whatever.
It's TIP and GO.
It's TIP
right?
or
Tip and Go.
TIP or
Tip
TI?
and go. It's tip and go, right?
Do I
Yeah.
get TIP or I get
Yeah.
TI?
See, discover faster, cheaper ways to reach your destination, comparing different rules and means of transport, and check user rating suggestions and find your own way to get there.
Yep. Or watch the video. Done.
Is there a video for it? Because their site doesn't seem to be doing anything.
No, I'm looking at Tony's article. That's not
Gotcha. There will be a video up very, very soon, everybody. A video done by our very own Tony Hannity's
Yeah.
that shall be on our site within the next 24 hours of you listening to this. So
Mhm.
definitely check it out.
Cool.
Tipping.
We also got a chance to check out Gift, which is a digital card platform. So it's similar to Karma. It's where you can buy actually, stuff through online. So it's kind of like a gifting program that you can, send gifts to either through mail or through actually rewards that you could send. And it's interesting. A lot of this stuff, of course, comes down to vendors, and Gift has their own set. But when we visited them at the booth, they were pretty, I guess, coy about who they're dealing with. But it's basically the whole point is you download an app from the App Store, you choose a gift card, and then you use it to send to a friend via Twitter, Facebook, email, or text. And once they get it, and if it's text, it's usually like a link to maybe the gift site, and you just go ahead and do it. And basically they scan your phone, and pretty much you get everything you want. And I'm kind of distracted by Tony's avatar for a bit there. I was like getting a gift there, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward in terms of what they're trying to go after. But I think it almost seems like there's a lot of companies aside from themselves that are doing it. Now, I could probably mention, if I remember the names, there are probably 7 or 8 companies that are pretty much doing similar things, but they have their own set of vendors that they deal with that do these gift rewards. So. But yeah, and also it's basically like a gift card platform as well, and of course those are all vendor supported. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for that one. Next in line.
Well, since we have Tony back, Tony, welcome back. Tony.
Thank you.
Hey, cool.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, let's continue on. All right, so do you want to go, Tony, or Rad, or?
So Tony, we talked about Tick and Go and Gift, and I didn't get a chance to talk about Rockify, but yeah, there's also our talk with Vonage, which I thought was really interesting too. So we didn't get a chance. We didn't talk about that yet. So if you want to jump on that one.
Yeah, why don't we do Vonage, because that's actually pretty cool. I mean, most people know Vonage to be the platform, or rather the service for VoIP for home phone. And now they're getting into the mobile vertical, and the apps are available right now currently for iOS and Android. And it's a great way to not only call people internationally, but also text them for free, because you're using data. You're not actually using the voice line of your mobile carrier. And one thing that they launched, I guess now, today, it's still kind of in beta. If you're an international traveler and you go to like London and you switch your iPhone or your Android to Wi-Fi and you use the Vonage app, you can actually make outbound calls for, well, as they said, pennies on the dollar, which up until now has been extremely unheard of. Skype doesn't let you do that. Not at least not as cheap as they're claiming. So I have to double back and double check the actual figures, but they said they're about 30% cheaper than Skype is usually. And the one thing that Vonage has is the infrastructure and a really catchy theme song. But it's the infrastructure behind Vonage that has made them be one of the forefront companies in this technology of VoIP. And we've seen other companies like Viber, well, even Google is trying to do it with Google Voice and Skype, obviously. But I think one thing that Vonage has is a great backbone, great call quality, and hopefully they'll get into the video side of it. But I think they're really priding themselves on being able to hear people better than ever whereas I think Skype is more on the visual side of it. And but yeah, that was a pretty cool thing they're able to do for international travelers. Uh, Rad, you mentioned Rockify. If you're really into watching music videos, like just a playlist of music videos, uh, Rockify is perfect for you. It's kind of like Pandora for music videos. You just type in an artist, and it creates well, in a sense, it creates a channel based off that artist. So you type in,
Spice Girls.
uh, I don't know, the
What's it
Ramones,
called? Rockify?
Rockify. So you type in the Ramones, and you're gonna get some really awesome punk music. You type in Spice Girls, and then your computer's gonna shut down on you. No. Yeah, you'll get some Brit pop, obviously. Uh, uh, it's an HTML5 app, so it works on pretty much any screen, and they're fairly new. And I believe I saw a demo of their product. I want to say almost a year ago, and since then, I guess they've added more videos to their database. But I typed in a pretty well-known group, and it still didn't pop up with any of their music videos. But it doesn't just show music videos of like what's current now. It might show Spice Girls, but it actually showed a few music videos from when VH1 used to be good. And so it actually it's an aggregator. It pulls the music videos from Vimeo, from YouTube, from Fuse. Instead of you having to go to YouTube and sift through all the unofficial videos, or those, you type in, I don't know, music video for blah blah blah, whoever, and all it is just the album art and the music in the background. It's like, well, I know the song. I want to watch the video. So this is supposed to be the official way to watch the videos. And I asked him, like, how do you license it, and like how do you get them to agree to do this, and the way that he kind of poised it, I hope he doesn't shoot me in the foot for this, but he kind of made it sound like, well, it's out there already, so we're just trying to make it official. We're just trying to make it easier for a user-friendly base. Like, okay, but if it's out there already, did they want it to be out there on YouTube, or did they want it to be out there on Vimeo?
From what I understand, he pulls the music videos from all different video providers like Vimeo, like all the stuff that you mentioned, right, including Dailymotion and stuff.
Yeah, but
Um,
but it doesn't mean that like a Treyu, they have an official YouTube channel, but
right.
is he pulling that video from that channel, or is he pulling
Yeah.
it from some other guy's channel?
No, he's
I don't
pulling
know.
it from. He could pull it. That's the one thing I don't know for sure all the details of. But from what I understand, it almost seemed like, a more niche search engine for that stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's like, when you do a search on Google, you do a search and you hit the videos tablet, and then after that, you do a search on, you do a search on music videos. But it seems like, you're on music videos, and you could do a search that way, either through genre or through the artist. So I noticed
Right.
that when we were looking at their interface, they had like, the artist tab, and they had these playlists. What I would assume
Yep.
is other registered users playlists or whatnot, and then
or Europe.
Spotify-ish. But yeah,
Yeah.
they can do it that way.
And you can thumbs up a song, you can thumbs down them. Like I said, it's very Pandora-ish. And then because you sign in with your Twitter or your Facebook account, you can share your playlist with other people like you would with your Spotify playlist and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's still in beta. An Android app is coming, I believe, but it's a cool idea. I mean, I do sometimes personally. I find myself just going to YouTube and just going from music video to music video.
Yeah, I just go to Vivo. Is that what it is?
Vivo, that's the
on
one
Vivo,
I
aren't,
wanted
aren't
to.
those official?
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
official. So I mean,
So-
my thought process was that that's the reason why YouTube acquired them, because they were basically, they were getting hundreds of millions of hits on a lot of those music videos.
Right.
So I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out where he fits in there. But I'm assuming that he's just basically shortening it a few steps earlier, where you just you go into music videos and he's organized it for you. You know what I mean? It's more or less like
Well, with Vivo, because you're using now, you can just basically use YouTube. It's not really creating a channel of any sorts. It's just you type in a band, Rage Against the Machine, and you get all of Rage Against the Machine. With this one, you can create a radio station, and you get Rage. You'll get you'll get
Justin
I don't know
Bieber.
why you'll get Justin Bieber. You'll get Johann
had to click
Sebastian
it.
Bach. So yeah, I mean, I think it's I wouldn't say this particular thing is disruptive, but it's definitely interesting, and it might go somewhere. I don't know. One thing
That's
that
I
if
know
it,
a lot of kids that just watch music videos on YouTube all day, so it'd
Yeah.
be good for them.
Gangnam Style.
So,
Well,
yep.
actually, funny you say that. I was listening to like Tech News today this week, and they brought that same point up. It's like YouTube has pretty much has become our generation's MTV. Only they
Yeah.
have it, whatever video they want to see, they have option to, rather than hoping that they would actually show it on this metal hour or whatever it was
yeah,
called.
exactly.
So
like
you-
the top 20 or whatever.
Yeah. So being this Rockify, they're kind of positioning themselves in a way where they can kind of take advantage over the fact that that already happened. So.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. So.
I don't know, Rad, if you have had another one or how much time we had left, but I just want to mention SoundGecko.
Oh yeah.
This was actually I think it was a really cool idea. Rad, you said you heard of something like this before, but basically what SoundGecko does is it can pull in text from RSS feeds or blogs or websites that you frequent, and it'll read it back out to you. And it doesn't just read it like I'm gonna read something. Comedian Mike Birbiglia directs and stars in Sleepwalk with Me. It actually
It
sounds
sounded like you're doing
natural.
hip hop, dude. It sounded like you're doing spoken word, dude.
That was a twist.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't sound like.
like.
It sounds like you would talk normally. Comedian Mike Birbiglia directs and stars in Sleepwalk with Me, a new film based on. So it has that kind of intonation with your sound when you like what a normal person would talk. I don't know exactly what technology it uses, but sometimes it's not completely correct. Like when it read the word Uber, it said Uber, and when it read Ustream, it said Ustream. So it some of it was a little comedy, but I tested SoundGecko out with one of our articles on LazyTechGuys.com, and it didn't read the whole website. That was one thing that Rad and I thought. Does it read the date? Does it read related text?
Stuff
Does it
you
read?
might like.
Does it read the
LTG.
ads? So
About the author.
it reads whatever is in the actual body of the article, but that also it doesn't read any kind of HTML or short code or tags or anything, but it does include if you have like at least for us on Lazy Tech Guys, if we do a press release and it's a really long press release, well, it's going to read that. And I think this is a great feature because for me, I listen to a number of podcasts, but sometimes I want to read an article or at least, have someone read it to me. And this is a pretty cool platform for it. They have they have an iPhone app. They're getting a Windows and an Android app sometime later on this week, I think they said. There's a Google Chrome extension. There's going to be a WordPress a plugin for us. And in the future, there's going to be possibly, they said, we would, as not artists, but artists and authors would be able to read their own work. So, Sean, you were very passionate about, sound. You did a great demo video yesterday about, doing, how to use that sound program. And I'm sure in some articles you'd like to comment, like so you could do your own commentary on an article, which is pretty cool. It just adds that extra, flavor, if you will, to whatever we're writing. The other part to that too, though, is this is great for those who are visually impaired but still want to be able to be involved in what's going on in this space, whether it be our website or another completely different website, like a foodsy website or something that they're more intrigued in, like even like an npr.org or something like that. So if you just go to soundgecko.com and you type in a URL of a blog post, I think it could be anything that has words, but they say blog post. It's going to email you an MP3. It's free. Try it out and just see how it sounds. See how it actually does a pretty good job. Right now it's only English. I don't know if it does any other languages, but yeah, hopefully we're looking to possibly. I don't know if partnering is the correct term, but we're looking to work with them in the future to get our stuff personalized with our voices. So
Pasting a screaming sheep. And that is all. So what happens when you paste like one of my articles like shiz Apple users say or something like that?
Or like the
What does it say?
articles
Does it
where
actually-
it just says,
does it
I'm just
actually
going to leave
curse?
this here.
Does it actually curse or does it like bleep out? What happens when I paste it in? I can't try that.
Wait, not right now. Can we not do that right now?
You guys can keep going. I'll be on this.
All right.
so we've got
I had to do it. Sorry, Victor. Oh, man. Sorry, go on, Tony.
So we've got 2 more days. Tomorrow we've got, Mark Zuckerberg's going to be there. We've got a couple of more interviews with some other app developers and whatnot. Our Wireless Weekly tomorrow is going to probably half and half. There hasn't been a lot of mobile news other than the press conferences, and we pretty much talked about all of them, except for Apple, which is on Wednesday. So, and then we have TechCrunch on Wednesday too, if we're going to go back, because I want to see who wins the Battlefield Galactica.
The what? The what?
The Battlefield.
Okay, so my dazed and blank look on my face doesn't mean anything to the I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
It's a hackathon.
You have to
Okay,
understand,
thank
I
you.
have no video feed on my end whatsoever, sir.
Understood. All right.
But yeah, it's a hackathon. It's startups are battling each other. They get 6 minutes to kind of pitch their idea. It's judges and potential VCs and angels that are in the audience.
and then after that, Dougie Fresh is on.
Exactly. And whoever wins, they win 50 grand, I believe it is. Plus they get time the ability to work at the like an incubator and things like that. Not a baby incubator, but like a startup incubator. There might be babies there. I don't know.
And if there's women who are like nursing or pregnant, then they're technically incubating. So, hey.
There you go.
On that note,
I guess.
Come on. Oh, man. All right. Is there anything else, guys, here that you want to mention for today's TechCrunch visit?
I'm good.
Okay. Rhett?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Just tune in for the next episode of TechCrunch coverage, which will be tomorrow anyway. So, but yeah, we'll be on.
Yeah. And then just for everybody, one more time, because I am that kind of guy. Yes, I did just do that again. Look at that. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or you could
All
just
right.
look at my logo all day long.
We wanted to make sure you got, and I'm just joking. Anyway, that was just the first game. We got a long season ahead of us,
Yeah.
of course. And we got a lot of tech news happening this week. So everyone, definitely keep in touch and keep your eyes on our site. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening, a lot of news reports. So don't miss anything. Don't miss out. All right. We would like to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We would also like to thank our sponsor, which is audible.com. To get a free 30 days to check out their service and a free book in the deal, go to audibletrial.com/lazy. And that's where you go to get that. Now, let me give you some contact information for the Lazy Tech guys. You can reach us many different ways. First way you can reach us is, as the slide comes up, There we go. You can email us at comments@lazytechguys.com. Give us a call at area code 707-722-5299, which, as you see, is 722-LAZY. Facebook.com/LazyTechGuys for our Facebook account. We also have a Twitter, Google+, so just look up Lazy Tech Guys and you'll find us there. And YouTube, Lazy Tech TV is where you will find us there.
We definitely have an RSS feed, too.
We do have an RSS feed. Where is it?
Those icons remind us.
Since when?
The icons are awesome, can I say?
I love it, man.
All right. We would like to thank everyone for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week for another LTG show, and later on this week with another Lords of Gaming and Wireless Weekly. So, thank you for joining us. We are out.
I'm literally Mr. Blurry Cam over here. This is awesome.
Very funny.